there's one thing knowing about how to solve a problem. There's another thing then having done it many times in real life and understanding all the other things you can come up with that weren't related necessarily to the first problem, but still take time. So a big one being change management, actually, and how do you bring the organization on board with you? Because it's a well understood phrase that it's about the people, not the technology, and it's how people use it. But still, a lot of the focus ends up being on the technology early on, because until you have something working, you've got nothing to show the people. But those people need to be involved throughout the process. And so much stuff comes out. As they start to see a solution, then their minds can start to get it, and they start to think differently.
And we were having a conversation about change management yesterday, weren't we? And we're saying that one of the most important, a hugely important aspect of, you know, deploying, delivery in any form. So no matter whether you're putting in a system, whether you're ripping something else out, whether you're and putting something new in, whether you're building on top of something, that actually, if it doesn't land and well with the end user, then, you know, can you call that project a success? And that change management piece is hugely important, I think, in being able to determine that.
Completely. And so we could have a whole nother video series actually on this, because the reality is that change management piece is probably one of the most significant costs of the project, because it takes time, and different people need to understand things in a different way. The language used to explain it to them. Some people are very visual, some people get it quickly, other people need to do it many times. That you can't do it in a week. Even if you got everyone into the same room and tried to do it, you couldn't. So there's a long time element to it as well.
Okay.
And sometimes that can go hand in hand with what we might call a commissioning phase of the project, where you're also validating the systems. And it's so often it's not included early on, because in many ways the budgets can be scary. If you factor those numbers, they sort of dwarf a lot of other stuff, and it can make you run away from the project. But the reality is, when you get there and you see what the system is and that it does work, you've removed all that risk. Now you know that every pound you spend is about getting that value embedded in the business. And I think that's why it's often thought about later, because people don't even want to think about that piece until they know that this first piece is going to work. And also, I guess it's like doing stuff on the house. When you find something that's really valuable, you'll find a way to pay for it. But if you were told up front, well, it's going to cost 5 or 6 times more than what you thought, you might not do it at all.